Hello, welcome. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Sorry, I was training some rhythm, Indian classical dance rhythm. And my hair today are super crazy. Yay! Welcome, dear dancers. How are you? I hope everything is fine with you. Super excited about today's conversation. It's MUSE week, day 3, and it's also Holi. So happy Holi, the festival of colors. And yesterday was a full moon, and it was such a beautiful day with so many beautiful classes. And I had my quarterly live streaming class with my Devi students. Such a beautiful moment of connection. And yeah, I feel so inspired every time I teach. So that's such a beautiful moment for me. All right, more dancers are joining. And basically what I'm doing with this MUSE week is that I'm talking about improvisation, but it's not only about improvisation from the perspective of performance, but more about improvisation from the perspective of the dancer. How to engage with improvisation in a way which feels soulful, which feels joyous, and feels in alignment. Because what I see is that many times we have this tendency to really look for the performance aspect and, make it as a goal. What you put as a goal changes the process, changes the perspective, changes the tools, changes everything. That's why goals are like so important. It doesn't have to be like super important, massive goals. It can be even a small goal, but whatever you put in front of your eyes, in front of your heart, is going to define how you pursue that goal and how you show up, if you show up, the motivation, all of that. So we need goals. And I see that many times, and I'm talking about the fusion world here because I've been, around the fusion world for so long. I see there is a lot of tendency into putting the goal into the performance. And we see that, okay, let's face the truth. We have stages which are full of dancers, but theaters which are low in audiences. So there is a lot of tendency into just aim for the performance, which I'm not saying it's wrong. Never I want to say it's wrong. It's just that, to me, it's like we're missing the one piece of the puzzle here and there. Hello, Maria. Welcome. I think we're missing a piece of the puzzle because we are so performance driven that I feel we've lost something, and what we have lost is many times is the joy, is the process, and it's also the why we do what we do, So my invitation is to just take one little step back and ask ourselves, why do we do what we do? Why do we dance? What are our main values in what we do? And how can we show up in a way which feels joyful, it feels aligned, it feels soulful? And especially in improvisation, I have many students which struggle a lot with improv because again, there is this tendency of being so performance driven that you look at basically what happens is that they look at their videos and they're like, oh, I feel so frustrated. I don't like what I see. I want more from me. I'm never feeling enough, and all of that stuff that we know. So yesterday we talked about how to overcome this little voice in our head, the inner critic, which is judging us and trying to self-sabotage. So go check that video. You'll find it on Instagram or on YouTube. It's MUSE Week Day 2. But today, what I would love to tell you, to share with you, it's another tool, another little, practical tip, which I think is going to be very helpful, especially if you feel like you are always feel this break in your heart when you watch your videos, or you feel like heartbroken, frustrated, unmotivated. So this tool is very, very simple, and it's a simple journaling tool. So you're going to make a special moment to watch one of your videos. It can be an improv, it can be a choreography, whatever you like. I would go with improv because we're talking about specifically dance improvisation. And I want you to split the piece of paper you are drawing, or better said, writing on, into. On one side, you're going to write everything which is very, very bad, and whatever you look which is not great, which is not okay with what you want, okay? So I'm just gonna give examples for that. Whatever I'm doing, and if I see that my arms are, my elbows are low, okay, I'm gonna write my elbows are too low. Or if I see, okay, I'm moving too much in the space, I want to stay in one spot, I'm not using my gaze enough, okay, I'm just gonna write all that feels not okay on one side of your piece of paper that you chose. And then on the other side, you're gonna write all that is cool, all that is great. And I'm gonna tell you, yes, there are many things which are cool, which are great, and I want you to identify yours. And that's, I think, the most difficult part, because we are so good into identifying what we don't like of us, but we're not so good into identifying what it's cool in us, what it's beautiful. Okay, so for example, maybe my elbows are low, but I love how I flipped my fingers in that specific moment. Maybe my gaze is not very controlled, but I loved how I was holding my chin away from the chest with this regal, how do you say, beautiful posture, Whatever comes to your mind, you're gonna write down on the good side of your piece of paper. And I want you to have the same equal number. So if you found 100 things, okay, it's not impossible, but let's say you found 10, 5, I don't know, things that you don't like about your dance, and you wrote, let's say, 10 things that you don't like on the left side, whatever it is, on the bad side, then I want you to write 10 things which you like in the other side. And I guarantee it's such a difficult exercise because, again, finding what you actually like of your dance is so difficult. But it's important that you do this because it's going to train your mind and your vision of you and your dance in a way which is really objective and in a way that it's also motivating you. And I invite you to do this exercise next time you dance. Journal with the bad and the good stuff and, compare. And all of this is not only to, give yourself that, come on, you're not that bad. It's not that. It's not only about that. It's actually to collect data so that you can create actionable steps to grow and move forward in your dance journey. So this is your training to be as objective as possible into collecting data so that you can grow. So another thing I want to mention, if I see my elbows which are not flowing or not good, whatever they're not lifted, the example I was mentioning before, the data, the simplest fact is that my elbows are not up and I need to train my elbows to stay lifted, because I want them lifted. I like it this way. Or my dance requires my elbows to be lifted. All of the comments that come after this simple sentence, like, you're never good at this. It has been, 10 years you're working on your arms and still you're dropping your elbows. Or, you're too fatty or too skinny and you should be this and that. All of that, I want you to put them all together and throw in the trash, because this is not helpful. This is just BS, bull ass. You don't want that. You don't have the time to deal with that. Just remember my words. You don't have the time to deal with that. And at the end of the day, what really counts is two things. Did I put the work? Did I do the work? And did I give my best? I want you to just question yourself in these two questions. Did I do the work? Did I give my best? That's it. And you just, you do something completely different. You finish the session or you finish your dance and you remove yourself from that mindset and body set and just do something completely different, because you are okay with yourself. You did the work, you gave your best. That's it. So coming back to the idea of the muse. On day one, we talked about who is the muse. So the muse is this beyond energy, beautiful, divine flow that we can receive when we surrender to her. Let's call it her, but it can be a him if you want. I'm going to call her. And the idea is that when you finish this kind of sessions, being it a dance session, being it a data collecting session, and at the end of the day, you tell yourself, okay, I did my job, I did my best, that's it. Then you just allow the muse to take care of it. You don't have to overthink the process. You don't have to overthink your growth. You just need to put on the work and give your best. And that of course means you want to train yourself, you want to keep showing up for the appointment with your muse, you want to collect data so that you can grow. It also means that you want to trash all the BS. You don't need that, you don't have the time, You want to be as objective as possible. This is all part of the work. But then as soon as the work is done and the day is over, you just want to sleep, no thoughts about it, and allow the muse to work on it overnight, So you can release the burden of becoming a good dancer, You can release that burden from your shoulder and give this burden to the muse. She's going to take care of it for you. And this is such a incredible, beautiful feeling, to feel supported, to feel uplifted, and to feel that this energy we cannot give a name or face is helping you, is like taking your hand and helping you to grow. And every art form is baby steps. And we need a lot of compassion to give a lot of compassion to us. So that means that we don't want to be beautiful on stage with the most crazy costume and the most crazy move, and we don't want to be like super cool on Instagram or all of that. I'm not saying that this is wrong. I'm saying yes, but this is all happening in the surface. And what I want to talk with you is more something which happens in depth inside of you. I want you to feel joyful about your dance journey. I want you to feel not only inspired, but really like craving for more, in a way that it's like you have this fire in you, and every day you show up with a big smile because you want to do the work, because it's just beautiful. The art life is beautiful, and dancing is beautiful. So I want you to feel this beauty, not only in your head, but in your body, okay? So, my dear dancers, I hope all this talk is making sense in your heads. But I want to leave you with the reminder to do your journaling exercise. So remember the good, the bad and good, and the good side of your journaling. Collect data from both of them and understand where, like, create those connections, understand where you want to grow and where you want to move on, and create small goals, because big goals can only be achieved by small goals. Remember, baby steps. That's how we grow. And if you don't put goals, like my point of view, you're not going to have the motivation to kick your butt in the morning and do the work. So give yourself small, achievable, sustainable goals and work on them. And all of the BS, just trash it. You don't have the time to deal with that. Just do the work and give your best. That's it. All right. Sending love to you. Hearts. Big, big hearts. I'll see you tomorrow. We have another appointment for the MUSE week. And enjoy your dance. Sending love to you, dear. Mwah. Ciao. Ciao, ciao.